people tweeting in a room. I must see 4 people where they tweet. And so as we go on today, the thing is that it's not about Mr. Peter Obi. It's not about saying I voted for him, I went home. It's about saying that I, as a Nigerian, you as a Nigerian, that when you vote, your vote must be counted and your vote must be entered. And nobody born of a woman, whether institution, INEC or wherever, we make a difference with that. With what? Your vote. I'm not here to pander words. People are dying because elections are stolen. And so, while we read this book, we must understand that anybody will say 1 week election, we died here.
Lives are tied to you. Hopes are tied to you. We are dependent on you. Before the 2015 election, we had already concluded that we are between the devil and the deep blue sea. We said, okay, worst case scenario, just go to PDP, even if we know it's just as useless as ever. Apologies to the coalition team. But it is what it is. And from nowhere, God remembered Nigeria and brought you our way. 2027, we are going to do it again. And I'm not saying it from a place of favoritism. I'm saying it from a place of certainty. It's going to happen. I said it in one of my posts that 2027, we are going to the polling units with one hand carrying voters card and another hand carrying what we use to defend voters card. Nigeria will be free. Whether the devil likes it or not, whoever that devil is. Someone told me something and I believe that Tinubu's election is the easiest election. It's going to be the easiest election in the history of Nigeria. So the campaign is a mind game to break the Nigerian people. So we feel we've lost out. I know we have not. I'm saying this to everybody seated here, that 2027, decide in your heart of hearts that Peter Obi is winning your states. Edo State belongs to Peter Obi. I say it without flinching. Edo State, whatever they are promising Edo State, please go and collect it because we are giving it to Peter. You know? So this is me standing on behalf of trenches, on behalf of the children that wrote JAMB in the middle of the night, WAEC in the middle of the night, on behalf of the people who have experienced flooding in Mokwa community, Niger State, that the president is yet to visit. But the moment Peter gets there now, they will all stand up. I'm happy that you are their motivation. But 2027, you will be their president.
You need a computer in the school in Chibok, the government school in Chibok, 2 desktop. And at that moment he said to me, and he was like, oh please, could we ask Mr. Peter Obi and His Excellency that if he could please donate 2 computers, it's something that is needed. So I said, immediately I got the message, what I did was to now forward on that 31st of May. I forwarded the message to Mr. Peter Obi himself. After I forwarded the message, we had the meeting, I think that was on the 1st or 2nd. So I knew, of course, he wouldn't see the message, because a lot of messages do come in. And so on the 1st, when we had that meeting, I sat with him, I'm like, oh, I sent you something that had to do with a particular school where they needed a computer. And within 12 hours, in 12 hours, I was like, oh, they were looking for, so he saw the message, we read it together, like they were looking for 2 different. And in 12 hours, we were like, oh, immediately I said to him, he said, oh yes, let's do this. And within 12 hours, I remember sending him a message, so fast, because even it shocked me. You know, when you are shocked, I was like, oh, so fast. But we're here today. We're here today because there's a cry out for children. And one of the things that we know Mr. Peter Obi is very good at is education, when it comes to education, and ensuring that our children, nobody is left behind. And in a situation where we have a nation where we say we are battling insecurity and all of that, we really need to do a whole lot about education. If you have a huge population that is not educated, then it becomes a burden on its own. At this moment, we're just going to have a few event. I'll call on Dr. Allen to just give a brief on his own. Later, we'll get the Kibako president to also speak on it. Then we'll have Dr. Allen first, and then we'll call on you and see whether he has any computers for us. You said the thing is believing. Thank you.
Well, let me stand and on all existing protocols. First is to thank our president and doctor and all the team for your time. Like you've mentioned, I wish I had the opportunity of being physically visiting the school in Chibok. However, Dr. Allen insisted that it is not very safe for us to travel. I've maintained that when we have a place that is not safe for Nigerians to travel to, then Nigeria is not safe. We must be able to travel everywhere in Nigeria, and that is what all of us should work ideally. Everybody has spoken here has spoken about benevolence. I don't think that is the case. We have children in school. We need to invest in them. Education is not an expense. It's an investment for a better society. And if we believe in a better society, we must invest in them. So for me, while everybody was talking and listening this morning and since yesterday when we were planning this, people don't know how I feel. We live in a country where we, the politicians, spend billions traveling all over the world, partying, renovating houses with billions. We've just finished renovating a conference center with that 9 billion naira. When our children in school don't have lab, they don't have computer, their classrooms are leaking, they don't have water, they don't have library. Which society is this? That alone can buy 1,000 laptops. And if we give it to the school on average of 10 pieces each, you should look at the number of schools that will be able to receive that. What conference have we had? The ones we have had in the past, have we utilized it? So it's time to prioritize what is critical in our development. Which number one is education? It's time to prioritize the health of the people. Prioritize pulling people out of poverty. Prioritize their safety. I can travel there. We've already bought tickets. Told Aisha, we bought tickets to go there. Once he said it, I said, okay, this airline goes there, and I bought the ticket and everything, forwarded it to her, ready to go. And I said, you can't go there. But we're here celebrating a feast when our children don't have anything in school. I thank you for the opportunity. Aisha did tell me, like she said, they are looking for 2 desktop computers. And I said, Aisha, that is a school. They need a minimum of 10, and they should have a laptop that is easier for them to just use it, fold it, and keep it safe somewhere. The laptop will be listening. And Aisha said, okay, if I can bring 2. But I said, Aisha, we'll do 10. Because, and from what doctor has said now, they actually need far more than 10. Because when I was in government and we did it, we used an average of 1 laptop to 10 or 20 students. And the doctor said about 3,000. So they actually need at least 100. But let's start with this. We have 10 laptops, 3 printers. Additionally, I've spoken to doctor. We're going to be making a contribution of 2 million naira to provide solar facility in the computer lab facility. We are going to provide another 2 million naira to see if we can provide some equipment in the science lab. Because they have the chemistry and the science lab that doesn't have anything. And we are going to provide another 2 million naira for hand motorized borehole. Like I said, we are not making donations. We are investing in the future of our children. That is critical. The more we invest in them, the more we have a better society. And that is critical. So I thank all of you who are doing all you can to sacrifice for us to do this. Thank you. May God continue to bless all of you.
The families, the community, and the dedicated members of the advocacy group, the Bring Back Our Girls. And it took us a lot of fights before the government even accepted. At some point they said, if the girls are missing, where are their parents? We brought the parents. They saw the parents, and some of the girls that escaped, they ended up rubbishing them because monies were sent to be given to the parents, and not even 1% of the money reached them. And at the end of the day, the government even denied giving them the support they intended. So we kept advocating for a lot of support, not just for the community, the missing girls and their parents, but everywhere. Because as at the last count, Chibok has been attacked from 2014 to today. Chibok has been attacked 107 times. In all the attacks, only 3 attacks that we didn't lose somebody. So we have 33 communities that are now ghost town around Chibok. Majority of these people have collapsed into Chibok main town, and they have been staying there. So you could imagine why we have large number of students in primary school, and the only secondary school we have in that state, which is the government secondary school Chibok, where the abduction happened. So I was telling His Excellency before we entered here that when the attack happened, the number of students that were writing exam in that school were 530. This earned me a lot of insult when I was on various media stations in Abuja telling Nigerians that that was the number of students that were writing WAEC in that school. Some people were even insulting me that it's not possible to have a local government, just one small village, Chibok, that was unknown before the attack, to have that number of students in school. But I was also saying before we enter here that Chibok is a missionary base. We've received education so early, and a lot of our people love education, and we still have them. Even with the abduction that happened, that school is currently full with thousands of students still pursuing. As low as the standard of education is, they are still eager to be educated. So this is just the basic of what transpired. And unfortunately, when His Excellency said he wanted to see the students and even the school authorities so that they are the direct beneficiaries of this gesture, we made every plans to get them. But as we all know, everything in Nigeria, no matter how clean or pure your actions are, will be misinterpreted. The misinterpretation came that because I was on the ballot in 2023 from PDP, I contested for House of Assembly, Chibok Dambuwa Goza, House of Representatives, Chibok Dambuwa Goza Federal Constituency, and I won the election. So if this gesture reached Chibok through my intervention and the community, it will end up causing a lot of problem for those guys on the ground, and they say they are not going to allow those people to come. And since those guys are salary earners on the payroll of government, they chickened out, and the student almost protested, and the community youth almost protested, but we got intervention from our sister here, Aisha, Yesufu, that no, His Excellency is always anticipating this kind of hostile approach when people misinterpret politics and governance. So he made this arrangement that the community leaders can come and represent the school and receive whatever that is available from him. So we thank you for this privilege and the opportunity. Most of us here are leaders representing the community. I don't know if there will be time for individual introduction, or I can quickly introduce our team. This was one of our earliest Lee Elder and the former chairman of the Tobacco Area Development Association. He has been very helpful.
Peter Obi and his entourage, especially my sister Aisha Yesufu, a dogged fighter. Our paths crossed in April 2014 when we started to sit out under the tree at the Unity Fountain adjacent to Transcorp Hilton. We became sisters, we ate and drank, and the rain beat us all together. So I must especially recognize her as part of His Excellency Peter Obi's entourage here. Dr. Allen has made my job very easy, so the protocol is going to be very, very short. The cadre leadership here, thank you for your support. The vibrant media that we have, electronic, print, and the social aspect. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dauda Elia. I don't do politics. I retired after 34 years of meritorious service in 6 different Nigerian banks as a director. I live a private and quiet life, but I am an obedient at heart. This is the first time I'm having a direct contact with this man, but I've had contacts with his closest of allies, including one he mentioned while in conversation on phone, Oseloka Obaze, yes, my personal friend. I'm very happy to be here. I'm happy to have led the Kibaku people. On Sunday, we had a Zoom meeting where we discussed largely the politics of the Kibaku people. But a major item under AOB was this event. And we dissected and analyzed all the problems. And finally, we agreed that it was wise. His Excellency Peter Obi is a precious product in this country. As unfortunate and as pathetic as the Chibok situation is, we would not, on account of that, risk anything happening to him. We cherish him, we appreciate him, and for that reason we said, after all, we even have now a registered Kibaku NGO. It is called Kibaku Welfare and Support Initiative. I saw to the registration of that with the CAC, with a board, an independent board, completely detached from the politics of Kibaku Kada itself, that can handle this kind of support and donations and gifts from well-meaning and benevolent people like His Excellency Peter Obi. So that's the reason why we quickly accepted the proposal that was put forward by our brother, Dr. Allen, that we should arrange and receive this in the hands of the leadership of Kada. Nothing would, I want to assure His Excellency that nothing untoward would happen to whatever you give to the Kibaku people, not under my watch. So I want to specially appreciate and thank him for his benevolence, for his charitable deeds. We follow what he does across the land, and we want to use this opportunity to, on behalf of the entire Kibaku people, not just the board and management of Kada, but the entire Kibaku people, both at home and in diaspora, appreciate and thank him for his benevolence and for agreeing to even come to Chibok in spite of the difficulties and the risks associated with that kind of trip. So thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you, and we want to assure you also that these equipment would be put to direct use by the intended beneficiaries. Thank you.
Yeah, just as hand it over to you.
Thank you again. We're handing you over, like I said earlier, these 10 laptops and 3 printers, believing that they will go a long way in education of our children. And we have offered to provide additional support for the laboratory, solar for the computer lab, and the borehole. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you. And affirm our commitment to the utilization of these computers and printers for the purpose for which they are intended. It is important, I'm repeating and reiterating this because of our well-known propensities in this country. Monies are getting swallowed, vehicles are getting swallowed, but we want to pledge our commitment to His Excellency that these equipments, God protecting us, would reach Chibok safely and be put to use by the students of Government Secondary School Chibok as intended. We thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And may God bless you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. Kulo will
So let me, like I said,
my belief in you, that you are a complete gentleman, you are humble and down to earth. This is the kind of leader we need. And leader that will say categorically that the future of our children is not an expense, it is an investment. You have said it all, sir. Nobody got it so rightly like you. And we are so grateful that God has raised you and has put this kind of spirit in you. That is why earlier on when we were outside, I said, you are a different breed kind of, and it is obvious. And thank you very much. This will go a long way in educating Kibaku children. And educating Chibok children, just like any other child, will mean educating Nigeria. And who can tell if the brightest and the help that the nation needs could even come from the unlikely place like Chibok. We look forward to seeing you, God, giving you your heart desire, and God Almighty will bless you richly for this gesture. And we are praying with you that God will really do that for us. Thank you so very much, sir. We are really grateful.
That was Peter Obi and his team doing what they knows how to do best. Kudos. Nice. Interesting. Peter Obi was there thinking about the lives of these Chibok girls, how they are going to survive, how they are going to survive their education, the things they needed in school, laptops and all that. Meanwhile, the president of the country is celebrating, rejoicing, and naming projects, a renovated project with 30 billion naira after himself. That what gives them joy. Nice one, Mr. Peter Obi. Kudos to you. And Aisha and the other one, Mama P or P Mama, Mama P. Nice one. Yes, I think you must have seen or heard that the hashtag is rig and die with it. Hashtag rig election and die with it. That's it. It will become it will go viral as time goes on. But for now, we are still waiting because the campaign has not started fully. INEC has not given the time, the dates, and all the parties have not officially announced their presidential candidates representing their parties. So Peter Obi is doing what he knows how to do best. The thing is, some persons might be thinking that okay, when Peter Obi took action to something, at that time you will not say after he has done his part. Remember, he's using his own personal money. He's using his own personal money. Peter Obi is not in government. Peter Obi does not collect any entitlement benefit from the state. As a former governor, he does not collect anything. No, he's using his own personal money. Previous election, his own personal money to campaign, even if a lot of persons donated. Right? Same thing with this coming one. Get that in mind. And some persons, like I said, might be thinking or saying, is this thing you are doing, it's too small, it's too deep. No. This will go a long way for them. It shows that the persons think about or put the lives of those people first. Think about the future of those children. Peter Obi and education is 5 and 6. You understand? It's 5 and 6. This one will go a long way. That is to say, the education we are talking about, the money to even make this change the face of our education, giving the children what they wanted, making the school be standard, it does not even take much. It does not take much. Do you know what 39 billion naira we do in our educational system? The improvement, the kind of quality materials, laptops and whatever, renovation of different schools, what 39 billion naira we do, how many building schools is going to be renovated? But yet, we now use it to renovate a project that somebody else has built before and now naming it after somebody who does not care. Think about it. Do you know? It will go a long way. And now look at everything Peter Obi said. 39 billion naira to renovate. So if they have to build the project, start from scratch, foundation, it could have taken them 200 billion. Do you understand? So now Peter Obi is doing that, putting the lives, considering the lives of those Chibok girls who have been many times attacked many times, but yet today they say the needs of education, the importance of education, right? And they now have somebody who remembers them, like, oh, okay, you can imagine the joy, the happiness. This one will go a long way for them. This is kind of leadership, the kind of leadership we want in the country, not somebody who considers himself and his family, who put the lives of his family. So we need somebody who has this kind of mindset to care with one another, who is passionate about something. Peter Obi is passionate to see people, to lift people out of the street. Peter Obi is passionate to see people, everybody in school. He doesn't want to see any children on the street while school is on. During school hours, he doesn't want to see anybody on the street. So he's very passionate about it. And he knows what it takes to change the face of our educational system and our healthcare. Right? Give kudos to him. You don't have reasons to dislike this man. Yeah, you may not like him anyways, but you need to like his leadership skills. He have it all. He have everything it takes to lead this country. Anyways, please share this video and please subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'll be your guy now. Run out for me now.